Good day, my scholars. Welcome to my school channel. My name is Alexandra. In this video, we'll be solving the JAMB CBT past question for the subject English Language Year 2011. Stay with us, do not go anywhere, and we'll be right back. Welcome back to my school channel. So right now we're solving question 41 to 60. Let's begin with question 41. Choose the option that best completes the gap. When the cashier told him to join the queue, he considered it dash his dignity. Option A, a drawback to. Option B, an affront on. Option C, a withdrawal from. Option D, a stain on. The answer to this question is option B, an affront on. An affront means an insult. So the person must have perceived it as an offense, an insult to his dignity. Now, when we take a look at the incident that happened prior to his consideration, we see that it should not be considered as a stumbling block. Like option A means a stumbling block or a disadvantage. So we can't consider it as a drawback to his dignity. We cannot also see it as a withdrawal from. We cannot look at it as a strain on, because strain on means pressure or burden or demand. We can only see it as an affront. So if anyone is to perceive cashier's directive negatively, it should be an insult or an offense. So the answer to this question is option B, an affront on his dignity. Question 42. Choose the option that best completes the gap. If anyone greets you, it is only polite to return dash greeting. Option A, your. Option B, the ones. Option C, anyone's. Option D, one's. Now, first and foremost, it is important to note that your answer should be in possessive form, because it has to do with somebody's greeting. So it has to be possessive in nature. So we have to consider option B, C, and D. However, the answer to this question is option D, one's, because one is used to refer to a person previously mentioned. Now, we have if anyone greets you. The anyone in the sentence here is an indefinite pronoun that is used to make emphasis on just anybody. It's just to emphasize that if anyone should greet you, you should do the same. Okay, so retaining the indefinite pronoun in the second clause will be inappropriate. It will sound inappropriate. So the answer to this question is option D, one's. So if anyone greets you, it is only polite to return one's greeting. Question 43. Choose the option that best completes the gap. Amina leaves dash campus. Option A, in the. Option B, on. Option C, at the. Option D, inside. The answer to this question is option B, on. Now, while it's logical to think that option A as well as option D is correct, the answer still remains option B, on the campus. On campus is a popular phrase to describe the room provided by schools or universities or colleges. Okay, we are talking about in the dormitories or in the bedroom provided by universities or school. So it's a popular phrase to talk about the buildings provided by university in a school. Now, the one thing you need to note is that language, precisely English language, is conventional. This language is a conventional language. It is not logical, and a lot of students try to apply logic in answering questions that has to do with English language. It's a matter of whether you know it or not. So you cannot apply logic to a language because some things are just created that way. So it is conventional, and it is conventional to say on campus. Okay, so option B is the correct answer to this question. Question 44. An acceptance of the offer would be a departure from the several rejections that dash. Option A, had taken place. Option B, have taken place. Option C, will take place. Option D, took place. The answer to this question is option A, had taken place. Now, if you observe the question, you see an acceptance of the offer would be. Okay, so we have the past tense there, and it should be retained all through the sentence. So we have had taken place, which is the best answer or the most appropriate in this context. So option A is the correct answer to this question. Question 45. The dash part of a new book is often written by a more experienced writer than the author. You can see these options are homophones. They have same pronunciation, but the right spelling and the correct words we use in this context is option B, F-O-R-E-W-O-R-D, forward. Now, forward is the introductory part to a book, which is usually written by a person other than the author. So we have option B is the correct answer to this question. Do not forget that you can take practice questions with our simulated JAMB CBT past question. And how do you do this? All you need to do is you click on the link in the description below. It takes you to the Myschool website. There you'll be requested to download Myschool mobile app for your Android phones or Myschool software for your computers and laptops. Please go ahead and download and start practicing. Now moving on to question 46. The officer acted in dash the instructions. Option A, accordance by. Option B, accordance to. Option C, accordance of. Option D, accordance with. The answer to this question is option D, accordance with. Now, accordance with is an example of prepositional noun, and we see that there are particular prepositions that will go with certain words. We have prepositional noun, we have prepositional verb, and we have prepositional adjective. Now, as the name implies, prepositional noun, certain preposition would go with certain nouns, and you can see the nouns are the same except for the prepositions are different. So the right preposition that should go with accordance in this context is with. So we have accordance with, which means agreement with. So the officer acted in accordance with the instructions. Option D, therefore, is the correct answer to this question. I believe you're enjoying this content. If yes, do not forget to hit the like button, click on the subscribe button, and then lastly tap on the bell notification to get informed as soon as we release the next videos. Question 47. Choose the option that best completes the gap. The bomb was dash. Option A, detonated. Option B, dismantled. Option C, deactivated. Option D, depleted. The answer to this question is detonated. Detonated means exploded. Okay, to detonate is to cause to explode. Now, the reason why we are sticking to this answer is because it is the best answer in terms of register. When we look at register, we are looking at the appropriate word in a particular field. Now, when it has to do with bomb, we use the word detonate to mean that it explodes. When it doesn't explode, when you disconnect it and it doesn't explode, you use diffuse, D-E-F-U-S-E, as opposed to deactivated. So deactivated is not the right word in this field or as bombing is concerned. So we use diffuse instead. But the answer to this question is option A because it's in accordance with the register in the question. So option A is the correct answer to this question. Question 48. If you want to succeed in life, don't be envious dash other people's achievements. Option A, of. Option B, to. Option C, with. Option D, on. The answer to this question is option A, of. There's what is called prepositional adjectives. Certain prepositions will go with adjectives and they are considered appropriate for that particular adjective. So we also have prepositional noun, prepositional verb. But in this context, we see envious, so we think of prepositional adjective. So in this context, of will go with the adjective envious. So we have option A as the correct answer to this question. Question 49. They are taught to value, honor, dash their lives. Option A, from. Option B, in. Option C, than. Option D, above. Now the appropriate word to use in this context is above. Above does not necessarily mean that honor is important than life. What it means is that it is very important, it is very significant to living. After all, we need to have our lives before we can even value honor itself. So what it simply means is that we as human beings, honor is very important. We should place honor above all other things. We should regard honor. We should do everything that will bring honor to us, not disrespect or dishonor. So the answer to this question is option D, above. But when we look at C, than, we are saying honor is very much more important than life, which is quite confusing. The statement is, it's contradicting. Okay, so we need life to value honor itself. When we look at in it looks logical, but it's not the appropriate answer in this context. So we'll stick to option D, above. Question 50. I missed the match though it was shown on television on 2 dash nights. Option A, concurrent. Option B, consistent. Option C, concrete. Option D, consecutive. The answer to this question is consecutive. When we think of the word consecutive, we think of something following each other in succession. So we think of one thing happening and another thing happening the next day or the next period. But when we think of concurrent, we mean something happening at the same time. Okay, consistent, done in the same way, concrete, having a physical form. So the answer to this question is option D, consecutive, because of this context. It talks about missing a match, though it was shown on television on 2 consecutive times. So it was shown 2 times. So option D is the correct answer to this question. Question 51. The company paid some money to Abu to dash him for losses he suffered during the accident. Option A, indemnity. Option B, condole with. Option C, settle. Option D, recompense. The answer to this question is option B, condole with. Now, option A, indemnity means security or protection against loss. Option B, condole is to express sympathy. Recompense is to make amends to someone. Now, the answer is condole with, because in this context, we need a verb in this context. And we'll see that it fits into this context appropriately because you're trying to sympathize to someone who has lost a lot in the accident or who has suffered during the accident. So option B is the correct answer to this question. However, option A is a noun, is in its noun form, and so it cannot fit into this context. So option B, therefore, is the correct answer to this question. Question 52. Our plan for the trip fell dash when the rich man did not give us a life dash. Option A, off/bolt. Option B, through/line. Option C, down/jacket. Option D, in/help. The answer to this question is through/line. So when we say something fell through, it means that it failed. Okay, fall through, which is the present tense, fell through, which is the past tense, means to fail. And when we talk about lifeline, we're looking at something you can depend on or something you can use as an escape when there's danger. Okay, so the answer to this question is option B, through/line. Question 53. Government has frowned upon politicians who are out to dash wealth. Option A, gain. Option B, amass. Option C, steal. Option D, waste. The answer to this question is option B, amass. Amass means to accumulate wealth or to gather together. Okay, so you are gathering together wealth or you are accumulating wealth. So the answer to this question is option B, amass. Question 54. You are just putting the hat on, dash. Option A, don't you. Option B, isn't it. Option C, aren't you. Option D, not so. Now this question falls under question tag. So the answer to this question is option C, aren't you. Do not forget, aren't you is the contraction of are and not, or am and not. Do not forget, you can use aren't to mean I'm not and are not. But in this case, it means are not. So we have aren't you. So option C is the correct answer to this question. Question 55. It was determined to dash opposition into submission. Option A, push. Option B, cow. Option C, box. Option D, pound. The answer to this question is option B, cow, because cow means to cause someone to submit to your wish or to your demand by intimidation. Okay, we know that cow is can be used as a noun. It can also be used as a verb, and in this context, we need a verb. And the meaning of a cow as a verb suits this context, and so it's the answer to this question. When we think of box as a verb, we look at to enclose. And when we think of pound, we mean to strike, to beat, or to hit someone. So the answer to this question is option B, cow. Are there questions you would like to ask? You can go ahead and ask your questions by using the link provided in the description below. Please click on this link. It takes you to the Myschool website. There you'll be able to ask as many questions as possible, and solutions will be provided to you within a short period of time. Now moving on to question 56. I tried to discourage him, but he persisted dash revealing the secret of his son. Option A, 4. Option B, in. Option C, on. Option D, 2. Now in this question, when we look at the question and we look at the word preceding the item we are to fix, we see the word is a verb, persisted, and we think of prepositional verbs. So there are certain prepositions that would go together with certain verbs. And in this context, persisted will go with in. So option B is the correct answer to this question. So we can say, I tried to discourage him, but he persisted in revealing the secret of his son. Option B, therefore, is the correct answer to this question. Do you have better step solution to any of this question? Please feel free to use the comment section below. Indicate the question and the solutions you would like to share. Question 57. I am told that the market is dash into the interest of people from all dash of life. Option A, tuned / works. Option B, constructed / places. Option D, design / places. Option D, set / works. The answer to this question is option A, tuned / works. Now, I am told that the market is tuned in. When you talk about tuned in, it's aligned, okay, to the interest of the people from all walks of life. When we think of walks of life, we are looking at the different types of job, different class, different status. So option A is the correct answer to this question. Question 58. Uche has been in dash with his pen pal for years. Option A, exchange. Option B, correspondence. Option C, favor. Option D, court. The answer to this question is option B, correspondence. Now, when we think of the word pen pal, we mean pen friend. And when we think of pen friend, we think of a friend you write to. So in correspondence with means when you communicate with by exchanging letters. So option B is the correct answer to this question. Question 59. Abba became dash about his inability to pass the examination. A, despondent. Option B, disenchanted. Option C, dogmatic. Option D, joyful. The answer to this question is despondent, because despondent is to be low in spirit because of loss of courage. So in other words, it means to be discouraged. So therefore, it's the answer to this question. When we look at the context of this question, we see that despondent fits in appropriately. But when we talk about disenchanted means to be disappointed, dogmatic means to be opinionated. And so therefore option A is the correct answer to this question. So we can say Abba became despondent about his inability to pass the examination. Question 60. Choose the option that has the same vowel sound as the one represented by the letters on the line. So the word is caught, and we have hot, B, water, C, sup, and D, wrong. Now let's go back to the board for the transcription. So we see AUGH is articulated as or, which is the long sound. And as opposed to this, we have the short O sound. And we have, which is wrong, we have the correct sound in water. We don't have it here, we also don't have it here. So what we have here is the short version of the sound. So we can see that the sound is in water. Now let's go back to the screen. So from the transcription, we can conclude that option B is the correct answer to this question. We've come to the end of this section. I believe you enjoyed it. Thank you for joining us, and do not forget to hit the like button, click on the subscribe button, and lastly, tap on the bell notification to get informed as soon as we release the next videos.